Well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 64 of the Let's Play world. Let's build a skyscraper today. Well, let's at least start one. So I grabbed some ink from our ink farm, and, if you think about it, one ink sack, one black dye will dye 8 items. 8 concrete, 8 glass, whatever. So one stack will dye 8 stacks of concrete or glass. So we have a lot of ink. I think our pain points are going to be sand. I've got, a fair amount of sand and gravel. I've only got that much gravel, and this is trickier to find. We could probably go to the bottom of the ocean and dig it up there. So I want to make a bunch of black glass and a bunch of black concrete, and I want to see how far we can get on one of our skyscrapers. So the building we're going to work on today is this black tower right here, and we're going to base it on the Willis Tower in Chicago, or what they used to call, and a lot of people still call, the Sears Tower. Sears Tower was built in the very early 70s, and it was the tallest building in the world for, I believe, like 25 years. Quite a cool looking building. It's really, really imposing and, black glass and just a cool looking skyscraper. What's really neat about it is, it's hard to tell from the pictures, but it's basically 9 columns or tubes, and this was a really revolutionary design. It made it so they could build much, much taller than they ever had before, and this sort of opened the gateway for some of the really super tall buildings we have now, like the Burj Dubai and things like that, that use this sort of tubular structure. And when you look at it, what's basically going on is there are 9 columns or tubes that are supporting the whole structure, and they're arranged kind of 3 by 3. So I'll kind of show you what it looks like. So it's basically like a 3 by 3 of these columns, and they all kind of go up like this. And then what happens is the front and the back stop, and these continue up, and then the front and the back stop. And there's just kind of this plus sign. And then these 3 stop, and the center and the front go up a little bit more. So basically, that is what the Sears Tower or the Willis Tower looks like. Really cool looking building. So now our footprint is 30 blocks across. So each of these blocks is going to be 10 across. Now the actual Willis Tower, each of these columns is 75 feet across. So we're going about half size in the width. Now, as far as height, I'm going to make each one of these squares about 21 blocks tall. So it's going to be quite tall, a lot narrower than the actual building, but we're going to follow the same kind of design. So it'll look sort of like this, just a little skinnier. So when you see the actual Willis Tower, there's a ton of glass, and it just kind of alternates back and forth between, the structure glass. What we're going to do is we're going to go black concrete, and then we're going to do 2 layers of glass, and then another layer of black concrete all the way up the thing. And we'll see how that goes. So I've got my little workstation set up here, crafting table, bed. I've got a bunch of gravel, a bunch of sand, some black dye, and some glass, and I want to see how far this goes. Well, here's a little update on where we're at. So as I was building, I started taking a look at this and realized it's going to be really tall. And not like build height tall, but compared to our village, really tall. And so I readjusted a little bit and decided each one of these squares going to be 10 wide and 15 tall. So our tower will be just a little bit shorter than I initially planned, but it's still going to be really tall compared to our village. What we have here is basically 1.5 of these blocks. I left the bottom open because I'm not sure how to decorate the street level yet. I'm going to think about that. And then starting here with the second layer, we're doing that alternating concrete, glass, concrete, glass, concrete, glass. And then this would be the top of the second cube. So yeah, you get a sense of how big this thing is going to be. And just to show you what I mean here, if we run over to our village and we look that way, this thing is going to be a monster. It's going to be gigantic. And one reason I wanted to work on a skyscraper is because once we have that building, I think it'll be much easier to figure out what to put in between. Because from here to there, we need to have a transition. And as I said in a couple episodes ago, we've only got about 5 blocks to make that transition. So it's going to go into, 2 and 3 story buildings and then 5 and 10 story buildings pretty quick. So yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. This is all the glass, and I have just a little bit of black concrete left. Show you what's in my chest over here. Yeah, so we've got 3.5 stacks of black concrete out of, 8 stacks of gravel, 8 stacks of sand, and then 8 stacks of glass. So we need a lot more stuff. So I made more glass, and this is basically 2 squares now. So we got 15 up to here and then 15 up to there. Ran out of concrete, so I didn't quite finish it exactly out. But yeah, this is basically 16 stacks of concrete, 16 stacks of glass. So we're going to need to do a ton of resource collecting. It was only, I think, 4 stacks of dye. So we've got tons of ink. Good there. We just need more sand and more gravel. Doesn't look like much from up here. Last thing I want to do is give you guys a little bit of an update here. We're going to move our nether projects over here above the door. So I've been giving a little thought to the different areas that I think we're going to want in the zoo. We're definitely going to want a nether area. And I think we're going to want a snow/mountain area. We're also going to want a jungle area. Definitely an ocean area. I think it'd be cool to have a cave area. Maybe a swamp. Definitely a forest. A plains area. And then I think we should do like a hall of hostile mobs. I got on the Minecraft Wikipedia and I was looking up the different types of mobs, and these biomes or exhibit areas seems like it would contain basically everything. It'd be cool maybe to have a desert area where we could put rabbits or something like that, and we can kind of subdivide some of these areas, like we don't have to have all of the plains animals together in one exhibit. We might break them up or that sort of thing, but at least we could have a plains area. But I think this is a pretty good list of the different areas that I would want in the zoo. If you have other ideas, definitely leave me a comment and let me know if I missed something. Otherwise, this is, I think, a good map. And then, we can kind of figure out a floor plan and how to arrange them and where to build them and that kind of thing, and then start piecing it together. And that is where I'm going to wrap this one up. I got a lot of work to do before next week, rounding up more gravel and sand. So stay tuned. We got a lot more building to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.